Hello and welcome to Soulful Strategies with Kathleen Amy. This is the final episode of this season, a shorter season, and I want to end with something close to my heart. A permission slip, really, for myself and also for you, my beautiful, amazing, incredible listener. Today, we're talking about why your business strategy should change with the seasons, the literal seasons, emotional seasons, energy seasons, seasons of your business, all of it, because you are allowed to shift. And so is your strategy. It is not static. It can change. Let's begin. Most of us have been taught to see strategy as fixed. You create a plan and then you stick to it, no matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter what is happening, no matter how the business has changed. And there is an element to that. I'm not saying that you should go and change your strategy because you don't feel like it today. You don't feel like doing that thing today. Showing up for ourselves and being consistent with showing up for ourselves is what's going to build our capacity and build our confidence and build our trust in ourselves. Having a plan and sticking to it is what makes you consistent. That's what builds success. But here is something that I have learned over the years and what I teach and what I share now. And that is that strategy isn't meant to be a cage. It's really meant to be a companion, a guide that walks alongside you. It is something that you can bring with you through every chapter and something that shifts and softens when life is asking more of you or when it's asking less of you. And as I said, that's not to say that you are at the whim of every emotion. No, you show up for yourself and you do the things that you know you need to do. But it's just an invitation and a permission slip, I guess, to see strategy in a new way. That it can be something that walks alongside you and it can be something that shifts. Some seasons call for building. You're energized, you're inspired, you're full of ideas. And strategy in this season might look like launching or showing up more visibly or growing your audience. Some seasons are going to call for maintenance. So you're steady, you're holding what you've already created. Strategy here is going to look like refinement, checking your systems, keeping things flowing without pushing. And some seasons call for deep, deep rest, grief, illness, burnout, transition. Strategy here isn't about goals, it's about restoration, boundaries, asking what can I let go of for now? Maybe what can I outsource? What can I do less of? What can I do more of that brings me joy outside of my business? If you try to use the same strategy in every season, it won't work. What works for you in that rest season is not going to work for you in your building season, and vice versa. What worked for you in your building season is not going to be sustainable in your rest season. And that's not because you are broken or there's anything wrong with you, but because the strategy hasn't shifted to meet you where you're at. Just like we eat differently in winter than we do in summer, just like we sleep differently during stressful times. Our business rhythm needs to reflect what's true in that moment. And with that in mind, here are 3 things I've learned about seasonal strategy and what it means. The first is that it's not a step backwards in your progress, it's a recalibration. So changing directions when something comes up isn't failure. Pausing and strategically resting isn't laziness, and you're not inconsistent just because your capacity has changed. You're evolving and your business gets to evolve with you. That is the beauty of running your own business. Your business gets to evolve with you. The second thing that I've learned about seasonal strategy is that it helps you create from truth, your internal truth, and not urgency. So when you check in with your actual energy and goals for this season, not the ones you set out 6 months ago, not the ones that you feel that you should be doing, you can create strategies that feel honest, not performative. And what I mean by that is if you have a 12-month plan, which you should, I've spoken about this in my previous episodes, or a quarterly plan, and you get to that quarter and things in your life have popped up, that is not to say that you should abandon your goals. It's more an invitation to sit back, take stock, and ask yourself, Where can you meet yourself where you're at? Does anything need to shift? Do you need to bring in support? Do you need to reduce the goals slightly so you're still working towards them, but perhaps they've shifted slightly? What do you need to show up in the best way you can for your business at this time? And the third thing that I've learned about seasonal strategy is that it actually builds long-term sustainability. Because when you're working with the seasons, you're going to stop burning out. You stop forcing output when what you really need is stillness. You don't keep pushing yourself beyond your limits and beyond your capacity. You seek support from experts and people with expertise when you need it. And you start creating a rhythm that you can actually live with in your solo business. One that respects your humanness and honors your humanness, that you are a being running a business, not a machine. And a little reflection that helps me when I get to I actually do this weekly, but you can do it monthly, you can do it quarterly, you can do it whenever you feel. It is asking myself, what season am I in right now? Is it a season of building, refining, resting? What's coming up? What do I need to plan for? What are my goals? How am I traveling with them? What do I need in this next season or period to help me get to those goals? And what would change if you allowed your business strategy to reflect that, even just a little bit? What might soften? What might feel more true? What might you invite in? Or what might you get rid of? Thank you so much for joining me in this tiny episode of Soulful Strategies. I hope these episodes over this past quarter season have offered you some clarity, comfort, and the reminder that business can absolutely be built your way with depth, honesty, and care, and with the magic that only you can share with the world. You can find the blog versions of every episode over at kathleenamy.com.au, along with more resources to support you through whatever season you're in. If this podcast has resonated, I'd love for you to share it with someone else who's building a business with heart and soul. And until next season, until next time in 2026, take care, and I'll see you in the future episodes of Soulful Strategies.